Winners over the weekend, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to the NRL. Round 26 kicked off on Thursday night as well. You know, the Eels upsetting the Panthers. Warriors over the Dragons. Cowboys comfy over the Dolphins. Storm same over the Titans. Roosters walloping the Tigers. Broncos are a comfy win over the Raiders, let's be honest about it. Sea Eagles belting Gunnies Bulldogs. You'll hear from Matt being positive from Twizel after 3. And yesterday I watched them again. The Knights, so impressive. That's 8 on the trot. 8 on the trot for the Newcastle Knights. They smashed the Sharks. Points table at the moment. Broncos 42, Wars 38. Get it. Wars 38. 16 wins after 23 games. That's just remarkable. Storm 36, Knights 33. And then a real logjam. Sharks, Raiders both on 32. Then you've got the Rabbits, the Cowboys, the Roosters. 3 teams competing for that 8th spot. They are all on 30 points. Brendan Bradford, CodeSports.au out of Oz joins us 136. All right, Brendan, I've got a whole lot of questions again, mate. Here we go. Who finishes 1 through 4 now? Tell me what positions each of these teams are going to end in.
Broncos will keep top spot. They'll beat the Storm. Panthers will finish 2nd, Warriors 3rd, Storm 4th. That's my prediction.
Who is the best team for the Warriors to face in the finals out of those teams, do you think?
Yeah, that's an interesting one because it'll be... I think you'd play the Panthers if everything stayed the same. Probably not the best team you want to be playing, especially if the Panthers rest a couple of players this weekend. I wouldn't mind playing the Broncos. Not that there's not that I think they could win those games, but I think it's just a better matchup.
How good or not are the Panthers going to be without Luai?
Very interesting question. Very interesting. I think they'll be fine. I think that the systems and the reserve grade players and the way, not just the first grade play, but all the way down to reserve grade and even into the age group stuff, when they bring players through, they're already fit. They slot into the team. They don't have to try anything too outrageous. And I think they've just got quality players across the park, namely Nathan Cleary playing in that halfback role. I think they'll be okay. Obviously, it's a hit, but I still think they'll be fine.
Who finishes 6th, 7th and 8th, given the fact that you've got 32 points going down to 30 points separating 5 teams and a couple of these are going to play each other. There's negative point differentials to take into account. But how does that end of the ladder end for you?
It's amazing. It's amazing. So I've been twisting myself in knots doing the maths and who's playing who. And it's even coming down to the scheduling of games. So, okay, so here's what I think.
Right.
I don't know if it's a bit out there, but okay, here we go. I think the Sharks beat the Raiders. So the Raiders will stay on 32 points and they have a terrible points differential. And then I still think that the Panthers will beat the Cowboys. So the Cowboys will stay on 30 and miss out. That basically means the winner of the Rabbitohs-Roosters game, which is on Friday, I think the winner of that takes, what are we looking at? 7th spot. Probably, yeah, 7th spot. So, and I'm going to tip the Rabbitohs. So the Rabbitohs 7th, Raiders 8th, and Cowboys and Roosters miss out.
Who's going to beat the Knights after they have won 8 games on the trot now?
Not the Raiders. If my maths and future planning things out, I think the Knights will win first week of the finals. I think the Knights are really the bogey team here. I haven't looked far enough ahead to see all the permutations on who they play, but I think they can beat everyone else from 6 to 8, and they could, the way they're playing, the way they're going, they could even knock off the Storm or the Warriors. I saw Kalen Ponga left the ground in a sling yesterday. He had another cracking game. So his fitness is obviously going to be massive in terms of how they go. But I don't know if they're the dark horse at this point, but they're really the bogey side at the moment.
Brendan Bradford, CodeSports AU. How many games does Jared Warrior-Hargraves get?
I think he's got 6. I think they hit him with 6. I don't know if they'll probably fight the charge and try and get it downgraded, but they're already talking about because the Roosters are playing in Vegas at the start of next year, so he'd have to hope that the Roosters make the finals, so they get at least 2 more games this season. Then he's trying to look at if he can add tests for the Kiwis, an All-Stars game, so he can get his suspension done by the time he tries to go to Vegas. So it's 6 games at this point.
But it could easily mean he misses the start of next season. A podcast overnight, Nathan Cleary flirts with the idea of maybe one day playing rugby. That would be for the Wallabies. It wouldn't be for New Zealand. Why on earth would any player at the moment leave rugby league and go and play a sport that is struggling in Australia with a national team that is an embarrassment?
It's hard to see why. He's on great money at the Panthers. I think if he went over to rugby union, he could. If Suwali's earning 1.5, he could easily earn north of that. It'd only be for money. And maybe, I don't know, travelling the world. But why would you want to leave? Why would you want to leave one of the best professional sporting organisations in the country to go to the Wallabies? Like, seriously, why would you do it?
Finally then, who is the very best team in this comp right now? Or is it too hard after that Luai injury to actually even pinpoint that?
So I don't know about the best team. The team I like watching the most is the Broncos. I don't know if that makes them the best. I mean, they're top of the table, so technically they are the best. But the Panthers have just got that finals experience. They know how to grind out games. So I'd say in terms of knockout footy and getting to a grand final, it's probably the Panthers. But in terms of who's playing the best football, who's got the best players, best form, I'm going Broncos.
Is there a single person on this planet who is actually in charge of their own faculties to a point where you could trust them, for example, to drive your children, 100 miles down the road? You could trust them with the keys to your house for a week when you go on holiday. So I'm talking somebody who's actually, in the right mental headspace that you would actually think, yes, this person has, everything intact, that can honestly say they thought at the start of the season the Warriors were winning 16 games.
No, there is no one. Not even the most diehard Warriors fanatic would have said top 4 at the start of the season. You might have got a few that said, well, we could scrape into the 8. I think most Warriors fans would have, sort of predicted just anything better than the last couple of years. Let's get into that sort of 10th to 12th spot, maybe. No one, I'm telling you, no one with all their faculties, no one of sound mind would have picked 3rd. No one would have picked top 4. Just outrageous.
And I'll go back to the Knights. Is it a possibility then this year with the form of this team, if they stay injury-free, that they could be the first side outside the top 4 to make it all the way through and win that final?
If there's a team that's going to do it, it's going to be the Knights. They're the best of, if you look at the ladder now with all the teams in contention, 5 to 10, they're the best. They've got the best form. They've got the best players, momentum, all that kind of stuff. Certainly, yeah. No reason they can't. I think. Like, look at that stadium yesterday. Absolutely sold. It sold out. Early in the week, and they played South the week earlier. That sold out in a matter of days as well. Just imagine finals football up there in Newcastle. It's going to be awesome. It's one of those things when the Knights are going well, the game's going well. It's just such a rugby league town, such a rugby league stronghold, and it's. I speak to people all over, mates and things like that, and people have a soft spot for the Warriors, but it's the Knights that are kind of, if your team's out, they default to the Knights. Sometimes the Raiders, but the Knights, I think they just have there's that default second team sort of mentality with the Knights, and I think the Knights can go all the way.
Thank you, Brendan.
Oh my goodness me!